Hello and welcome. I am Alison Gerd, Global Head of Client Experience and Servicing at BNP Paribas Security Services Business. Today, I am very pleased to welcome you to this episode of our podcast series, Beyond the Trade, where we go behind the scenes to speak to our asset servicing experts. In this episode, we are going to look at the topic of the depository services for funds. I'm delighted to be joined by two of our experts, David Banks and Francois Dupuy. Welcome, David and Francois. Before we learn more about Depository Bank, can you please introduce yourselves?
Yes, thank you, Alison. I'm David Banks. I'm the Global Head of Depository and Fiduciary Solutions for BNP Paribas Security Services. I've been in the role for just over 2 years. Prior to that, I was based in Australia in various roles after joining BNP in 2019.
Hello, Alison. I am François Dupuy. I'm the head of Depot Bank for BNP Paribas in France. I have 20 years of experience in the securities business. I held several positions in client development teams and joined the Depot Bank nearly 10 years ago. I'm also a teacher in several universities here in Paris, trying to pass on my knowledge and passion for our business to the younger generations.
Thank you, Francois. I think it's excellent that you can contribute back to society through your teaching. What a great thing to do. From your credentials, you are the perfect couple to answer the question, what is a depository bank?
Okay, I'll take that first and then allow Francois to comment further. A depository is a financial institution which exists to protect the end investors in European funds. Under AIFMD and the UCITS 5 directive, funds, or collective investment schemes as they're known, are required to appoint an independent depository to ensure that service providers to the fund act appropriately and within the law. They do this through performing three main duties: safekeeping, oversight, which typically involves due diligence and investment compliance activity, and cash flow monitoring. Francois.
Yeah, we are market leader in Europe on that industry, and in France, we are one of the major depot banks on the national market. We support around 150 management companies on a daily basis, from local independent players to large international management firms. The game is always the same: protecting final investors through a solid monitoring of the funds and their management companies. So we build very special relationships with our clients. Risk management, compliance of operations, and trust and transparency are essential.
I knew we were market leading, but did not realise the number of funds that we were monitoring. It is much more than I expected. So along with the level of service that you provide the client, what is the true value of the service?
Well, acting on behalf of the national regulators, we are often considered by some of our clients as a necessary evil. Honestly, I would rather think that our clients see us more as an expert support, a safety net, sort of a third eye for their own benefit. Our role is to protect final investors. This is our mission. And doing so, we protect our own clients, who are fund manufacturers or fund managers. So how do we achieve this? I would say first through our expertise on each asset type, because we understand the latest regulations, the new trends, and of course, thanks to our independent control capabilities. Then, a smooth client experience from the design and conception of the fund and throughout its entire life cycle. We are doing a lot on that matter, like implementing digital tools to ease the audit and the due diligence process, revisiting the entire client experience via our web portal, Neolink, and of course, remaining very close to our clients every day to ensure quality of partnership. And as an example, we did a lot recently on ESG topics. Sustainable finance is definitely an area where clients, I think, really appreciate our support and experience.
Thank you, Francois. And David, what do you see as the real value of depository services?
I think, as we've already said, the primary value and the real value is in protecting the end investor and making sure that the entities running the fund are behaving appropriately. This protects against errors, conflicts of interest, and fraud. And overall, that creates stability, and fundamentally, it creates credibility and trust in our industry and therefore the whole financial services ecosystem. It may not sound particularly exciting, but it is extremely important to investors, regulators, and the ongoing success of the industry.
Thank you. That was very insightful. I expect that you need to be very aware of what is happening in the industry and more broadly in the global economic landscape. So what trends are you currently seeing?
One of the biggest trends we're seeing at the moment is about the diversification of investment types. We have seen a big move to more private assets over the last few years. In addition, we're currently seeing clients wanting to invest more and more in digital assets. These are without doubt two of the biggest trends we're seeing, and we have to evolve our model and develop it further to accommodate these new instrument types. Our responsibility is to ensure that our depository services and activity can support these new asset types as well as the traditional ones. The duties, oversight, cash monitoring and safekeeping are exactly the same, even if the fund or asset type varies, and we need to make sure that we have the full confidence in our abilities to discharge these duties.
Yes, funds are more and more complex. This involves new solutions and a permanent re-engineering of our processes. Just look at the emergence of hybrid funds that combine liquid and illiquid asset classes. Most accounting and administration systems have been set up for either traditional liquid assets or for the more illiquid ones. So the industry is having to work out how to process these new innovative structures. It's a tough challenge, but it's a really interesting one. Or look also at the emergence of digital assets. It is not a parallel universe. They are developing quickly, and our clients expect a depot bank that is capable of supporting traditional as well as digital assets. You name it, security tokens, tokenized fund shares, digital cash, stablecoin, and the wholesale central bank digital currencies. All these projects are really exciting, and we love accompanying clients that experiment on these topics. And lastly, AI. We hear so much about it. It was clear years ago that these technologies could change the way we operate. I mean, we spend so much time reading and analyzing funds prospectuses. It was obvious AI would become a game changer for us. And so we are actively involved and invested into that matter. So we want faster processing, and we ambition to increase the depth and frequency of our controls and offer the best client experience. So we are at the forefront of transformation and new trends, and we are proud of that.
Thank you both for this informative podcast. Before we leave, I have one more question for you, a bit more personal. What do you like most in your job in the depository arena? Francois?
Well, first, I love the positioning of the depot bank officer. I think we create unique relationships and we are long-term partner. Then the intellectual challenge is permanent. Regulation evolves constantly. Our clients embrace new trends and they have a huge appetite for innovation. They are expecting us to be there as experts to rely on. Every day, I learn new things from a client, from a fund, or from a specific transaction. And last, I would say the transformation of our business. I really want my team to stand at the cutting edge of trends, projects, and regulations.
Thank you. And what about you, David?
Well, I've been in the job for just over 2 years, and one of the things I love the most about it is I just keep on learning and discovering. In fact, sometimes you realize the more you learn, the less you know. In my role, I oversee 9 depository locations, and I really enjoy building a community amongst those locations and getting them to work together, sharing best practices and ideas. It's really rewarding to see that from both a human interaction perspective and the results that come afterwards. On a more personal level, I'm really enjoying living in Paris, which is so different from Sydney where I previously lived. For the first time in my whole career, I'm cycling to work, which I absolutely love doing, and I just find it sets up the day on so many levels.
David, Francois, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge of the Depository Bank with the Beyond Trade podcast.
Thank you very much, Alison. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you, Alison.
The information contained within this recording is believed to be reliable, but BNP Paribas does not warrant its completeness or accuracy. Opinions and estimates contained herein constitute BNP Paribas' judgment and are subject to change without notice. BNP Paribas and its subsidiaries shall not be liable for any errors, omissions, or opinions contained within this recording. This material is not intended as an offer or solicitation for the purchase or sale of any financial instrument. For the avoidance of doubt, any information contained within this document will not form an agreement between parties. Additional information is available on request.